Hey, it's me, the infamous Kiki, back with another video warning you what you need to look for while you're searching for remote work and what you really need to have your eyes, ears, and your mind open for, or you might fall trap too. So definitely stay tuned. Hey, it is me again, the infamous Kiki. Woo, yeah, woo, woo. Doing another video about working from home or remote work. Who am I? Let's see. I am a remote worker, apparently, entrepreneur, mom. I own 3 Etsy shops. I'm also an artist. I'm an award-winning artist. If you look in the background, you'll see some of my awards. I have art and art galleries all over the country, even internationally now in Paris. And what I'm going to do and talk about today is something very important when you're trying to find remote work. Okay? Any kind of work, honestly. If you're online and you're on Monster or Indeed or careerbuilder or whatever, all these little online places. Some of you may know this information, some of you might know, but I know that now today, since there's more remote work than ever and people are online more than ever trying to find jobs, and there are things going out there that you need to be aware of, okay? When you're trying to find you a remote job or you're trying to work abroad, there are, when you go on these websites and you fill out information, you post your resume up there. First of all, I would say that I used to work in AR. I mean, not AR, yeah, accounts receivable. I used to work in HR. I was an HR person for a Fortune 500 company. I won't say their name, but it's one of the largest companies in the world. And I was one of their HR people. HR uses different, they pay to use these search engine sites like Indeed and Monster or whatever. So there are some that companies use more than others. I know working for this large company, and also the company I work with now, I actually pay the bills for these career sites, and they can be very expensive for companies to post their jobs on there. So a lot of companies, they pick 1 or 2 maybe to use, and that's primarily the ones that they use the entire business, unless something changes or they're upset or something better comes along. But there are some that are used more than others. I would say 2 of the best ones I would give advice is Indeed and ZipRecruiter. I know this may be location specific. I have used all of them. I've used CareerBuilder. I've used Monster. I've used Craigslist. Like, I've used a bunch of them. But I would say for me, my suggestion, CareerBuilder used to be really, really good, but it's like number 3 on my list. But it's really just convoluted, and there's a lot of fake postings of jobs. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade at them or say anything bad, but I'm saying for my area, and I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and from my experience working in HR, the ones that we used the most was pretty much Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and Monster. We didn't really, I don't know if that has to do with the price point, but I would say Indeed is probably the easiest for us to use as a company, for the company I work with now, and also for other companies I work with. I've seen them advertise on Indeed. So I would say if you're looking for a remote job, there's a lot out there. You can use more than one website, but I would say that it gets really stressful and really convoluted using more than one website. So, you go to these websites, you upload your resume, right? Thing you have to be aware of that some of these, that anybody can get on these websites and search, right? And sometimes people are pretending that they are searching for employees, and they're not. They're just fishing for information off of people's resumes, and they're using that information to spam your email. They're using the information to call you up and sell you things. They're trying to telemarket you. So that's another thing you have to be careful of. I would say that yes, you can put your real telephone number on the resume, of course, because you want employers, when you apply, you want them to call you. When it comes to your email, I would probably set up a separate email for employment, or separate email altogether, for any type of employments. It's easier for you to find the emails when they reply back to you, instead of being stuck and convoluted in your regular day-to-day type email. Now, I know some of this is common sense, but these are certain things that a lot of people are starting out that they really don't know. So, or they didn't think of, or they're like, oh yeah, so try to get a separate email, a professional email. I'm not saying specifically that the email needs to have your name on it, because that's putting a lot, your first and last name is putting a lot in your email address. I would probably try to just condense it down to something, like accounting professional, or, just something, Black women empowerment, just something empowering, something generic, something that's not your name. Try to use something like that. So these are basic things. Also, going hand in hand with that, there are people out there posting fake jobs. Now, I know that sounds crazy and counterintuitive. Some of you may have experienced that. If you experienced some of this, put your comment down there and let people know. I've been a victim of this. I've experienced this. I have friends that actually was fished and scammed because of someone promising a job, but it wasn't really a job. So you post your resume and then somebody emails you or calls them. They bold these days. They even call you and they're like, hey, we got this job. You're perfect fit. Blah blah blah. We're gonna send you an email, or send us an email back and follow up with us. And they'll follow up with you. They'll call you. They'll contact you, and then they'll send you an email back saying, here, fill out all this information. And your first thought should be, okay, if you've read my resume, why do you need my name and address and telephone number? That's already on my resume. So I would probably question them and be like, wait a minute. That's how I kind of knew, was like, okay. But then sometimes they'll come back and say, well, yeah, we have your resume, but we need you to fill this information out for the employer. Red flag. They can easily get it off a resume. They don't. That's just bizarre. Like I said, someone who's worked in HR, I'm telling you, it's just bizarre. Anytime anybody is looking for a job, whether it be contract work or regular work, the first thing they're going to ask is, send the person's resume over so they can take a look at it. So the idea that somebody's asking you to fill out yet another sheet for a potential employer because they're a consultant agency, or they're a temp service, or they're a placement service, whatever name that they're giving you, and they're asking, and especially if they're sending you something back talking about you have to fill out a W-9. That's the other one. Fill out a W-9. I need you to fill out a W-2 or a W-9. You're a contract worker. I need you to fill out these tax forms. 9 times out of 10, that's a no-no. Do not, unless somebody is giving you a job offer and you got an offer letter, I would say do not fill out no fake W-9 to somebody you've spoken to once, and sending it through the email is even more dangerous. Even if they're not a scammer, sending a W-9 to an employment agency, which has your name, address, social, tax information, unless you have a job offer, unless you've seen an offer letter, and this is a legit company, you've done your research, no, do not send them a whole sheet and a half of your name, address, social security number, leg, blood type, firstborn. Don't do it. Don't send your firstborn in. Don't send it. Don't do your kid like that. Like, no. Because again, I have a friend that sent all that information, filled out a fake W-9, and they literally identity thefted her. They stole her identity. They opened up credit cards. Yeah. And it was a big mess trying to get all of it sorted out. And then the company that supposedly contacted her and she sent the emails to the authorities, this company did not exist. That's another thing. We bring up another point. Do your research. If a company sends you email and they have like the person's name or the email address and the name of the company, Google the name of the company. There's been times I've Googled companies and it'll come up. People will go online and do videos and write stuff saying, this company is a scam. This company does not exist. This company is located, I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody from India, but a lot of these people will have a foreign accent. And just because they have a foreign accent doesn't mean it's necessarily a scam, but you can Google search these companies and they'll tell you that a lot of these people are phishing and scheming from different countries, from India, from Africa, from Asia, and these companies don't exist. If a company cannot give you a website, and the website, and some of these companies get smart, they have a website but it don't look legit. There's one company I looked up, they had a website and it didn't even look legit. Like, I was like, is that a real, that's not even a real website. That website was not real, y'all. Like, I could tell it was like mistaken spelling. The everything was off. Like, it wasn't even real. So do your research and Google that company. Okay. I would say that. Email address. If the email address looks funky and weird and it doesn't match, that's another issue. The language of the email. That's another thing. A lot of mistakes, a lot of misspellings. It doesn't matter whether you're recruiting from another country or not. You should know how to spell. You should know how to spell check. So look that up. And then the company that they're telling you that they're hiring for, that company should have a website. You should be able to look on the company's website, click on careers, and look at the company's jobs. And that should be able to tell you, because some of these companies will get on companies' websites and then pretend that they're a recruiter for the company and they're not. If you do find out for a fact that that is happening, I would say definitely email the company and report them. I've worked for a company where there were some people doing that, saying that they were hiring for this company, and I'm like, what are you talking about? We're not even, like, yeah, we're hiring, but we don't go through a placement service. This placement service had asked them for money to set up some kind of resume and this resume package to send to my old employer, and they didn't represent us. We're like, what are you talking about? This person was scammed. So that's what I want to do a video about today, just telling people out there, when you're looking for remote work, because they know so many people are flooding the job market today and looking for jobs out there. Google search the name of the company who is hiring. Google, if they're an employment agency, Google search the name and the jobs that the company is saying that they're particularly hiring for. If you talk to them over the phone and you ask questions about the job, like, when do you start? Where's the job located? You know, what's the next step? They should be pushing you towards having an interview. And that's the next step. You should be able to interview with somebody. And then if you do interview with somebody, some of these people clever, they'll have fake interviews. I've had fake phone interviews before. But you really have to protect yourself and really do some research. Look at the email addresses. Look at the way the emails are structured, how things are spelled. If you see a lot of mistakes and misspellings, if they become really pushy and insisting you send this information, I had a company practically stalk me. Like, I had to block them because they kept calling. First of all, this is annoying anyway. I don't know if the company is real or fake, but I'm not dealing with that. I'm not being harassed into a job. And ask the people where are they located. They should have an office somewhere in the United States or some kind of satellite office here in this country, regardless of whether they're calling from India, Africa, Asia, any other place. They should have some kind of satellite office here. So, you know, any employment agency, consulting, they will have a legit website with jobs listed, careers listed, name, address, telephone number. Look at the website. If you still do not feel good, if you feel in your spirit that something is not right, do not take the job. There are too many remote jobs out there. There are too many places hiring. If it feels wrong, don't do it. So that's my advice. If it feels wrong, don't do it. Do not give anybody your social security number. Do not give your information over through email like that without having an interview or several interviews, a job offer letter. You know where you're going to start. You know where the office is at. To pick up your equipment if you're doing remote work. Make sure you have all your ducks in a row. And stay out there and stay safe, people, because like I said, anytime there's some situation like this, people are out there looking to scam. People have been doing this for years, but I've just noticed that now there's a huge uptick in fake jobs and fake postings. And some of these websites need to have some accountability as to researching their companies a little bit more, because I don't think a lot of these websites really research the companies. They just kind of want the money. So the company, they're more happy to pay to post these fake jobs, because they understand that they're getting all this information from these people, and they're pretty much fishing off of their resumes and advertising and spamming your emails with all kinds of corporate advertisements and business advertisements. But they feel like it's worth it. You know, it's worth it to them. So I'm just saying that people, you know, you need to be careful. So I will like, share, subscribe, comment, Let me know your experiences. If you had experiences, somebody trying to scam you from a job. And I'll be posting more videos about work and remote work. And just stay safe out there, kids. Stay safe, kids. Bye.